Awesome. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the webinar. My name is Nick Baldwin, co-founder of Lab Coat Agents. And today you're in for a kind of a fun one. It's all about lead generation through different portals, social media, through Google, through realtor.com, lots of different channels that we're going to discuss lead generation through. We're here with Kyle Hunter, who's the industry principal at Lone Wolf. And we're going to do a side-by-side comparison of two super powerful marketing tools, Lone Wolf Boost and Lone Wolf Leads Plus. These are designed to help realtors attract and convert more clients. So it's kind of like a mixture of brand awareness and lead generation, because you can't have one without the other. We're going to compare them. We're going to see how they work, and we are going to jump right into it. Hey, Kyle, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Nick, thanks for having us again.
Not a problem. I'm always excited to see new lead generation tools. At Lab Coat Agents, we explore the science of real estate, and we're always experimenting with new stuff, and I'm excited to see it. So let's jump right in.
Yeah, it sounds good. And I know I have some slides here for you, but just before we get started, I was out in San Diego last week. Had the honor of going to Inman Connect, and lots of topics. Obviously, the market is still a bit challenging, and in many of the cases, the market has shifted. So you have some markets that are still heavily in the listing side, sellers markets. I think you're up in the Northeast and have that similar.
Yeah, I'm in Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah.
It's kind of like depending where you are, it just depends on what like it's not a nationwide market. It's like different divided up types of markets. It's kind of interesting what's going on right now.
Yeah, I'm actually down in Florida, and yeah, definitely seeing the other side of the coin. Very much a buyer's market.
Yeah, for sure. Here, it's almost kind of neck and neck, but prices have gone up about 7% in the last 12 months. So a little bit slower, but still creeping up. So it's exciting to see that. So too bad I wasn't at Inman. I know Tristan was there. I don't know if you ran into him or not.
No, we didn't cross paths this time, but definitely we'll try to catch him next time. But interesting, on stage, one of the persons was kind of talking through just some averages and statistics, and the average person knows 7 agents, real estate agents.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is, and so what that does is, you think about it, there's 7 agents that have that person as part of their sphere. So while sphere is obviously the most important and the thing that drives a lot of business and really keeps that momentum going, you have to supplement that with other ways of getting your information out there, showing your professionalism, and generating top of the funnel leads. And so that's kind of what I want to focus in on today a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's jump in.
All righty, well, let's jump in. I know I had the slide deck. There you go.
There you go.
So today, we're going to talk about unlocking the real estate funnel. And so, at Lone Wolf, we have two components that work hand in hand together. And so the first one we're going to talk about is Boost. And then the second one is Leads Plus. So Boost has actually been around a long time. Some of you might be familiar with a company called HomeSpotter. HomeSpotter is a company that Lone Wolf acquired about 4 years ago. And so we've brought that into our sphere and also added a lot of functionality to it. And then the second piece is Leads Plus. And Leads Plus is relatively new. I think I actually debuted Leads Plus, I think last month on Lab Coat Agents. So we've seen just a tremendous amount of traction from that. And cool. So we'll get into it a little bit here in a moment. So let's move forward. I don't know if I have that or, oh, yes, I do. There we go. The growth dilemma, really looking for ways to create that pipeline. As I mentioned, you have to have the people to feed into your CRM, into your sphere, into your ability to go out and market to drive, that funnel. It takes, a lot of people getting into that top of funnel for them to move and to choose you as your representative. So, time and budget are limited. Where do you focus? There's a couple areas, again, that we have that really help real estate professionals. So let's start out with the first one, Boost. And I'm going to go ahead. So Boost is your brand partner. This is really a tool that is super simple to use. It will go right in and take a listing that you have, whether it's a new listing or something changed on that listing, anything that happens to that listing, and it automatically generates a really beautiful looking advertising for all your social media. So it goes right into your meta platforms, Facebook, which is the #1 platform, also Instagram, also all of the various tools that are, or I should say websites that are focused. So a lot of times you have various websites that you're going to and you see the little ads on the side. And so we syndicate to all of that, and it really helps you drive awareness of your personal brand. Okay, so getting your brand out there, obviously in old marketing terms, 7 times to create an impression. There's other studies that really takes more like 21 times with all of the noise that's out there. But you have to be repetitive, and you have to be able to see that same information over and over again. And when you're a consumer out there looking for someone to either buy, a real estate property from, or if you're looking for somebody to represent you on the selling side, there's a lot of agents, as I discussed. Everyone knows real estate agents. Some are in their family, some are, in their church or in their community, and for them to choose someone, sometimes it's a function of repetitive, viewing. You see this person over and over again. You drive past, you see their, you see their signs, and then you tie that back to social media where you see them over and over again pop up. It gives you a better chance to win that business. So that's what Boost does for you. It is very simple. You can go in and it creates automatic ads. 2 clicks, you can create an ad. Or if you're a marketer and you really value being creative, you can do that. You can basically go in and customize that piece so that you can really see and put your own mark on it. And you can do it for many different ways. We have examples of users that do this for obviously new listings. So they might do an automatic 5-day new listing or 7-day new listing. Some in that more higher end markets or luxury markets might do 14 or 21 days. And so you can actually go in and decide what works best for you. So that's a really cool tool. It comes right from the MLS, feeds in those photos. You can also incorporate video. We've actually seen a huge increase in engagement from video. That's probably the biggest tool right now. We released that about a year ago. And if you look at the stats for people that are looking at video versus, flat files, there's a big differentiator there. But it allows an agent that maybe not have a full marketing team behind them, or even if they do, it allows that quick and easy access to, put that out there. It includes landing pages, all kinds of dashboards, so you can see exactly, what goes on with it. And it really ties back to a listing event. Okay, so, in some markets like my own, you have price changes, price enhancements or, reductions, however you want to frame it. But, you can basically go in and have it trigger to, run an ad when that happens. And it actually will follow agents that maybe, or I should say consumers that might have looked at that listing, and you can hit them again so that they can see that there's an active, reduction on that property. Open houses. We've had a really increase in open houses with the, 817 last year, where now, the buyer broker agreement that you have to sign, but not on open houses. So it allows for you to boost that open house to get as many people in that open house as possible. So basically, it helps with driving that traffic to your open houses in a social media format.
So
And then the other,
so like
go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you connect it to your MLS, I would assume, or how does it pull the listing from, if you do a ad for an open house or you have a price reduction, what does it do? Like it automatically creates an ad for you, then you can go run the ad?
Yeah, it's a great point. So once you're signed up with Boost and you go in and you sign up to do a listing, it asks for your MLS and your credentials, and then it will tie in and look at all the listings that are in your inventory, and it will pull that in. So to your point, it will actually look at changes in wherever it would be, and it sends an email to you, and it says, hey, you just got a new listing. Great. Would you like to run an ad? And you can, in some cases, you might have, properties that are either, priced really, really good, and they're going to move quick, and you might not want to go, and do an ad, or maybe it's a land or something that you don't really want to run an ad on, and you can just, accept that you don't want to do that. There's others that you might want to go in and advertise for various reasons, but it's super simple. So you click on the ad and you have a little slider, and you can basically determine, how the length, how the reach, where you want to go. You can position who you want to see. So it's geographically based, but you can also put in targets. And so it's very easy, but yes, right from the MLS. So there's no work in uploading, or doing anything. You can upload new photos or something.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, people have that pull right in from the MLS.
Yeah. So if you're not very good at content creation or ad creation, it basically can do it for you in a sense.
Yeah, and that's the point. Some agents are really good and crafty at building their brand and building their assets, but even the ones that are, we found that use Boost, they're like, look, it's great. We don't need to make a lot of changes, and you can simply make a few changes, let it ride. I'll tell you another secret, and this is really good for agents. And I was actually at a big brand that uses this. I was at one of their conferences, and they happen to be teaching a class on this product and on Boost. And so I kind of, stepped in, and I wanted to hear what they were teaching. And one of their biggest tips was to identify or input the owner's information so that lead follows them, or I should say their own ad follows them around. So that you, as the listing agent, the owner's like, man, you're killing it, because everywhere I go, I see my house and my property where it's following them,
that's
all
cool.
over the internet. And it just reiterates that, power that, or, that you're doing what you need to do. So lots of cool little tips and tricks here.
So it's not, this is more, so Boost is kind of more as a brand building piece.
It's a brand building. Now, absolutely. I will say it does generate leads. It's not a lead tool. I mean, it's $100 per listing. So, depending on the time and how long you run it and all those types of things, it could be pretty cheap to run an ad on the listing. But you do have all kinds of cool things. Like if somebody comments, let's say they're on Facebook and they see it and they make a comment, automatically shoot you an email so that you can go cool. in and comment back to them, or delete it, or take an action on anybody who engages with that.
So I noticed on the screen here, it says builds your brand, so between deals. So like let's say, okay, so for those of you watching, you take a listing, you do a just listed. Do an open house, you do an open house ad. If it goes into escrow, you can do an under contract or an escrow ad. So like people who are following you or seeing your ads can see like the life of this listing. Oh, nice. Wow. So this guy sold this house super fast. Maybe I should use him, that type of thing. So it ingrains in their mind like how quickly you're getting these listings sold, or how many listings you have coming up. So that's essentially what it's for, right?
Absolutely. That two other points I'll make. One, just sold. So obviously just to continue that progression. Yeah. And then the other big one is that two others, I should say, you have the ability to just brand yourself. So if you're a new agent or you're an agent that, maybe either focuses on buyers or really don't have any listings right now, you can do boosting of your own brand, where it's basically just showcasing yourself or your team, or whatever it might be. And then, I know this is geared towards agents primarily, but the other piece is if you wanted to boost for recruiting. We have a lot of companies that use this for boosting for recruiting, where you're actually targeting other agents that you want to maybe, join on board.
So there's a question in the chat. Do the leads coming from the ads automatically go into your CRM for follow-up?
That is a great question that you have there. Yes, they do. They actually can. We integrate with several different lead systems. It also exports it into an Excel, and it will flow in. So there's lots of different ways of getting these leads right into your tool. So
cool. Yeah, nice. All right. She says she's coming off Lion Desk and needs a new CRM. Well, you're in the right place, Jill. Because
thanks, Jill.
is a CRM, so definitely.
We have our new relationships, which we just won the Inman Lead Innovator Award this past Friday. So we're very happy with that. That's our new
very cool. Very cool. I didn't know that.
Focuses on this. So
yeah, I heard a lot of good things. So yeah, definitely, Jill, check out Lone Wolf, but don't make any sudden decisions until you see the LCA discount or the LCA deal.
I was just going to bring that up. We do, and I saw it flash across a couple times. There's a QR code, and also I think it's LCA agents. We'll drop that in the chat, and that is where LCA listeners and members actually get a 20% discount on these ads. So it's a very good discount that you're able to go in.
Scan that QR code. Hurry up.
Absolutely. Everybody grab a quick screenshot. So, good deal. All right, so we're going to pivot on. So this is Leads Plus. So you have your boosting, you're building your brand, you're advertising your listings and yourself. This is still in line with that, but this is more of a done for you Leads Plus, or I should say leads. So this is very similar to other lead systems we have, but we've really architected a way that we generate, high propensity buyers and sellers that are looking to move in a short amount of time. And basically we have that. Now, again, these are people that are the whole point of this is to add that to your top of funnel. We have, you go in, you choose your zip code, you choose if you want buyers or sellers, you pick how many leads that you would want per month, and you can go in and set that up. And basically it will deliver those leads to you. You can then port them right into your CRM. And it gives you, it's the hottest item right now. I know that, again, depending on your market, and a lot of these markets are really looking for buyers. And so we are getting these zip codes flying off the shelf, where, we do have a cap. So, various zip codes are in there, but, 12 to 20 leads per month. There's other packages of hires. We have some teams, we have some brokerages that, increase that so that they can use that as a lead distribution channel. But it's very cool. I will say that we've been overperforming. So anybody who's getting in early, you get the benefit of basically having leads beyond, in many cases, what we have as our stated amount. But basically, just as you see it, you go in, you choose your zip codes. It kind of gives you an estimate of, how many leads you think are going to come from, how that's going to perform for you. And then we also have various, dashboards so that you can always see what's going on, with your leads.
So where do these leads come from? Are they coming from only social media or other places?
The leads are coming from a number of capture points that we have. So social media is obviously one. We've taken the success of Boost and the reach that we get and the engagement, and we've created ways to actually generate, buyer and seller leads, whether it's estimation, pieces, or, looking to buy, or different pieces like that we can pull together from social media. There's some other indicators that we're using, proprietary to try to identify those that are, within a high propensity to act. And that's really our focus. So yeah, using various data sources, but obviously something like 90, another stat from Inman last week, 95% of buyers and sellers start their transaction from, internet searches and searching on the internet various ways. So obviously that's where our focus is.
Very cool. Okay. And I go back for 1 second. I noticed it says all leads include budget, timeline, and goals. So I assume you're kind of asking certain questions like in these lead forms.
That's right. Yep. We have refined, and we do a lot of A/B testing. We do a lot of testing to determine, the types of agents. But yes, we have different categories. So if you work with specific categories, timelines. So obviously we're putting in messaging that is asking, what's their timeline for purchasing, and then generic goals. So we're constantly changing and evolving based on our results. And like I said, we have the basics.
Cool. Yeah, I like that.
Cool. So I know we have a few minutes left here. Where the leads deliver. So here, this is kind of an example where you would go in and identify your zip code.
I just want to say one thing. The QR code wasn't, I don't know if it wasn't working or Jill just couldn't get it to come up. I dropped it in the chat, but also if you just go to Lone Wolf online and you connect with someone there, just let them know that, you were on the Lab Code Agents webinar, and they'll give you the discount if you want to talk to somebody, right?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And if you, I think on our last screen, we have that up again. I'm sure we can throw it up again so that you can do that. Yeah. And you can, again, if you want to speak to someone, you can absolutely call our team. We are able to kind of help you and walk you through this. If you are, good at doing it online, you can do that as well. Okay. Yep. Asking for an email address. So I think we can drop that in. Someone in our team.
Yeah. I'm just here. I'm looking for the contact form here. If you go to Google and type in Lone Wolf customer service, there's a contact form. Just fill that out and click contact us, and someone will get back to you. I'm sure that's.
Oh, Jill found it. Look at there.
Oh, look at you, Jill. Jill, she's using the Google.
I love this new format. You can see the questions pop up. So yeah, if you guys have questions, definitely throw them in there, and we'd love to answer them live.
Steve, we'll get to that. Steve, we'll get to the pricing in a minute. I don't want to interrupt Kyle in the middle of this map feature. So let's see how this
works. Yeah. So this is what you'll see, on leadsplus.com. And I think we'll throw that in there too, so you can kind of go directly to it. But you have your zip code. You can go through and identify, the zip codes that are good for you. Some are have different, to your point, the pricing is a little bit different depending on how concentrated and the area, and some are larger regions. But we do limit it. So, it's very, just like other areas, we're not going to just have zip codes forever. So there are some that are, taken, and, unfortunately they're not going to be. We do have wait lists. So if you go to one that is taken, you can sign up and say, hey, let me notify me when this is available. And, you can send it that way. But this really, again, is there to focus on the conversion. I'm sure, and I've seen a lot of your webinars, and you've been an agent a long time, high producing. You have all these tools and drip campaigns and marketing campaigns that you put your large database of people on. And so that's the same idea here. Like, the idea is to really just add people to that top of funnel, and you can progress them through your normal channels. There was somebody I actually met with last week, and she was up in Ventura in California, drove down to the Inman conference, and it took 2 months, but 2 months she had a $2.1 million sale. It's California, so obviously markets are different. And then she had another one that just went pending as $1.5 million. So the 2 deals, and it paid for multiple years of her leads plus subscription. So high ROI. So with that, this is basically how they stack up. So Boost, just to kind of summarize, is for your branded listing promotion. It's a per campaign. So each listing, listing has a choice, and you can have some advertised for shorter, longer, not advertised, but it's really super easy, hands off, high visibility. So, and that's the piece that's 20% off. So if you go in and you wanted to do your ad, 20% off using that lab code. On the second piece, the lead generation, Leads Plus, so that's a zip code based, and it does vary, but I think it starts at around $600 per zip code, delivering those leads, and it has various amounts. You can choose to increase the lead count. You can also go in and pick multiple zip codes if they're available. So again, that's kind of how those two work together. So
yeah, and if you look at it like, some agents might be like, whoa, $600. But if you think about it, compare it to, your average Zillow or Realtor.com zip code, it's definitely much more affordable than that. So John is wondering that, he's concentrating on 2 to 4 unit residential. Will this work for me?
John, that's a great question. I think that there are specific ways to go in and tweak. Now, if you're talking about Leads Plus, the answer is yes. I think that those leads are across the board, and there's some tweaking that can be done. On Boost, absolutely, because you're able to kind of customize and change, various things. You can also upload your list. So this is something I might have missed, but under the Boost, you can, if you have a sphere, if you have a database, you can upload that list to your boosted listing, and it will automatically target those folks.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So you can do retargeting with people that are in your database.
Absolutely. Yep. A lot of people do that, especially in their various niche markets that they're in. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that.
Why consider both? Basically you have the brand and you have the leads, and obviously it takes both to go hand in hand together. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. And a lot of agents skip the branding aspect of it, and they go right to the lead generation aspect, and they forget, you got to build a reputation and a relationship with your database and with new people that don't know who you are. So you can't just go and ask for their hand in marriage without dating them for a little while. You know what I mean? That's super.
Yeah, and absolutely. And the lead comes through. You still have to do the work of, making that personal relationship and winning them over. And they're probably talking to someone else. So, again, it leads as good as the person who's doing.
Well, like you said, each person knows 7 real estate agents.
Exactly. Yep.
But just because they know them doesn't mean that they're thinking of them. So.
And that's the reason to stay in front of them. Absolutely.
Exactly. So yeah, go check out Lone Wolf. Use the LC Agents code to get 20% off. Do we want to put that QR code back up on the screen for a second there? Jill said it wasn't working. But let me just. Sometimes phones are a little funny. So let me just see. I'm going to try it here. It worked perfectly for me. I don't know, Jill. It showed right up on my phone. So. Well,
she got it to work. So I think.
She did? Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Yep, works for me. Sometimes the QR code scanning is a little finicky. If you don't click it exactly, it goes away. But awesome. Well, I love this. This is super cool. I'm all into this type of stuff, so I kind of geeked out a little bit. If there's no extra questions, Kyle, if someone does have like a question, they hop off and like, oh shoot, I should have asked that question. Where can they go to contact somebody? Should they just go to the Lone Wolf site and go under contact, or just get on the phone with someone, do a demo. Because if you go to lonewolf.com/get-a-demo, you can do that. Is that the best way to do it?
Yeah, and you know what? I'll go ahead and just put my email in
You're
there.
a brave man, Kyle. You're a brave man.
So I will find you the right person. So I just dropped it right in the chat, khunter@lwolf.com, and we'll get you to the right place.
And Steve is wondering how expensive. I'm sorry, expensive or expansive, Steve? Because in the chat it says how expansive is your CRM?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, you know, we have a very robust CRM that we just released. I shouldn't say it's very robust. It is designed to do the things that matter. So it doesn't have tons of the bells and whistles. We call it relationships. And the reason is because it's there to cater to relationships and to grow relationships. And that's really what it does. And that's the one that won the Innovator of the Year award. So yeah,
well,
we'd love you to check it out.
Yeah, that's not an easy award to win. So congratulations on that. Great. Well, hey everyone, thank you. I'm mumbling here. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And Kyle, you can reach him at khunter@lwolf.com. And he'll be sure to direct you in the right direction or answer any question you might have. Like I said, he's a brave man for putting that email out there, because agents ask a lot of questions. They ask a lot of questions.
I'm ready for it. Thanks, Nick.
All right, everybody. Kyle, hang out for a minute because we need to upload the video. So just hang out for like 30 seconds, but we'll see everyone on the next one.
Sounds good. Thanks.